Welcome to Forward Facing. I'm Andee Hastings.
I'm Mali Shadmehry.
We are the founding partners of Hastings Shadmehry Family Law,
An Atlanta-based law firm with a deep commitment to our clients, our community, and our team, whom we call the Wolf Pack.
we are lawyers,
We are also business owners,
partners,
bosses,
and best friends. Every day we work towards self-growth and mutual development.
Our 4 decades of combined experience gives us a distinct perspective on work, business, and how to navigate some of life's toughest situations.
We want to pass on what we have learned, introduce you to like-minded guests, and share our philosophies on staying positive and moving forward. Forward Facing is your inspiration to evolve.
Hello, and welcome to the Forward Facing podcast. I'm Mali Shadmehry,
I'm Andee Hastings.
and we are so excited to be back with you again. We missed you. We missed you guys. We have an incredible guest today, Sarah Price Smith. She is one of our lawyers. She joined the Wolfpack this year. You're going to get to know her today, hear about her story, feel her energy. She is inspiring, just like all of our lawyers here are. So can't wait to get to know you, Sarah. And before we jump in, Andee, how are you doing? What's up in Andee world?
What's not up in Andee world right now? Mm-hmm. I just feel like a clown at the circus. I'm just getting balls in the air, and I'm just trying to keep them in the air. You know,
Good for you.
Which is fine. I mean, you know, that's this time of year, end of school year. Clients have lots of things going on. Our people here have lots of things going on. It feels like every meeting, everything that happens is happening this month. So just a crazy month. So just trying to keep myself centered and balanced and moving through it. I'm grateful.
Love that.
How about you?
For me, I've been in serious healing mode. I had a surgery, and so that was a first for me. And somebody that's always on the run has had to learn how to not do that, but still get the things done that need to get done. So I've been doing a good job at that. I'm back in the gym. I switched to a new training split in the gym for all the inquisitive minds on that topic. I went from training 6 days a week to 5 days a week, now down to 4, and just coming into my own as an athlete with that and understanding the importance of rest and balance. And so, it's a slower season for me, but very focused with work. Finished a few big projects. We had Law Day with the Forsyth County Bar, which was incredible. Working on a few other things this summer for some other legal organizations, so excited for that. Feisty legal teams going on at this firm, lots of hearings, mediations going on, so participating with that, meeting with new clients lately has been great, and I'm gearing up for a couple beach trips. I'm ready to go be a mermaid, which is who I am in my spare time. I've got a beach trip with my partner, and we've got Family Law Institute coming up. It's a convention for family law attorneys, so I can't wait to do that. And then I have a girls' beach trip with my best friend. Shout out Lauren. Can't wait. So yeah, those are my updates. And now to the meat of it all. And you know what? Sarah actually asked. We used to ask us a question when this podcast was formerly the Hastings Shadmehry Show. We would start every podcast with, "Are you feeling like a warrior or a diplomat today?" Because we say here at Hastings Shadmehry we can be both warriors and diplomats, and we believe it's important to wear both hats. And so with that, let's have an old school moment. Sarah, are you a warrior or a diplomat today?
I definitely think I'm a warrior. Before 9 a.m., I had 3 phone calls with opposing counsel.
Before 9 a.m.?
We're not doing emails anymore. You're going to talk to me.
That's
so I'm definitely
excellent.
Feeling like a warrior.
Go, girl. And you two have a trial coming up.
Yes, we do.
So
that's one of our big things.
Are you
We're
a
excited.
warrior too?
Yes.
I know
definitely.
it. Oh, I knew. So Andee and I were on the phone together for an hour this morning before 9 a.m. too. And I could tell this one was in warrior mode.
I was like, bing, bing, and this, and this.
I'm a diplomat right now.
Love it.
I think it has to do with I have to maintain a really restful state in my personal life, and it is affecting how I have to handle things in work right now too. Just problem solve and keep moving forward. So that's where I'm at.
Excellent.
So we got 2 warriors in the house. So Sarah Price Smith, tell us, how did it all begin? Where did you start? And we'll get to how you ended up here and in family law.
Where did I start in the very beginning?
Where'd you grow up? Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina. It's a town named after my great-grandfather, actually. That's how small it is. There's
What?
no stoplight.
That's crazy.
It's cows.
Crazy.
What's it called? You got to say.
Sutton Town. So literally the middle of nowhere. And then I decided, look, I got accepted into colleges in like Seattle. I got accepted in like Alaska. I was like, let me go away. My mom said you're capped at 900 miles.
Okay. Well, that's so specific.
She was like 1,000. I can't do it.
But that's too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went 852 miles exactly away because I
Love that.
heard that all the time to Auburn.
You followed the rules.
To a T. And yeah, I was always in Atlanta because, Auburn's is 2 hours away. So I even, I worked here and was able to go to classes there. So
Wow.
I fell in love with the city and the energy, and I wanted something new, especially coming from, cow
Sutton
country.
Town.
Yeah.
Cow country.
So what about baby Sarah? Did you have siblings? What was your family life like growing up?
So my parents got divorced they started getting divorced, I think, when I was 4, but I don't think they resolved everything until I was like 6 or 7.
Talk to us about that. What do you remember?
It was incredibly contentious. Like most of my childhood is like the police coming to my house because of like domestic stuff and like court orders not being followed
And you were aware even at that age that court orders weren't being followed.
Yeah, I mean, I read the interrogatories at like 6 years old. Probably shouldn't have, but
And did they contain like allegations your parents were making about each other?
oh yeah. I
Okay.
grew up it was my uncle's law partner who was my mom's divorce attorney, and so I was there all the time. I was homeschooled also, so I didn't have like the distraction of public school.
Yes.
So she would just like let me go hang out with the paralegals, and I would help them file stuff while like waiting for them to
wow.
You were working on trial prep.
I was.
Like helping them
Baby
with
Sarah.
evidence? You were sending them evidence for your mom and stuff like that?
Oh, no. But
Oh,
I
you
was
wouldn't have
like,
been. We were 4 or 5.
yeah, I was just like putting files together for the paralegals and
Okay,
stuff. But
okay.
yeah, I was there for all of it. I had a front row seat.
And what did your mom do for work?
She has her master's in business, like healthcare administration. It's a lot of acronyms. I don't really know what it is. But she always worked in healthcare.
Okay.
She like managed healthcare clinics, departments, and hospitals.
Like in that small town where y'all live?
Oh no, she like in the city in Raleigh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my dad was a Raleigh firefighter. So.
Got it.
Yep.
So when was their divorce done?
Well, my baby brother with my stepdad was born in 2005. Yeah, 2005. No.
Okay.
Yeah, 2006, because he just turned 20. Math is not my strong subject. That's why I did law. So sometime before 2005, it was right before I went to 3rd grade because it was a part of the court order that I go to public school, and my first year in public school was 3rd grade. So.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
How did that feel, transitioning to public school, just out of curiosity?
Oh, it was horrible. I hated it. Because, like, I went from being able to, like, read all the books I wanted to read all day and, like, do what I wanted to do to, like, have to go listen and walk in line. Like, it was a big transition. But, yeah, I think that was the only time I ever made a C in my life was in my first semester in 3rd grade. And I was very upset about it. But, yeah.
Of course you were,
Yeah.
baby Sarah.
And then, so y'all were living in this small town. You said your great-grandfather, is it named after him, you said? Okay. So what did he do?
He was a big farmer.
Okay.
So we still have like a farming business, like a huge farmer. So he was in college during the Depression, and then he had to drop out of college because the farm was like doing really bad. But he was actually really successful. I don't know how he did it.
He established big time things out there, right?
Yeah, we had like we had a store for a really long time. He had like a trucking company. Like he had his hands in everything.
That is crazy.
Like so much so that the Soviet Union and communist China like would invite him to go over there and to like teach them how to farm.
Wow.
Wow,
and he established the hospital over there in the school.
Well, he helped, but he would probably roll over in his grave if I told
he
anybody
said
that.
that.
Yeah, but
I always love getting to learn about our lawyers' family and where they came from. I also had a grandfather with a similar story and had to work his tail off in the same time frame and became a lawyer. And so I think it's so interesting to see like how the lineage prevails, and he'd be so proud.
My favorite thing about him is that he desegregated the public school buses
What?
in like our whole area. So like
That's
he was led the charge for that.
amazing.
Oh my gosh.
That just gave me chills.
It did me too. And then I'm picturing baby Sarah. You go into public school, your parents have been divorced. Do you think that your parents' divorce has impacted you as a family law attorney and how you approach cases?
Oh well, I never like intended to be a family law attorney because I was like,
Yeah.
I did enough of that.
Okay.
But then I kind of fell into it, and then I felt like I was like, you know what? I'm never gonna advise a client to like, for example, split Christmas, because to this day, I hate Christmas because I had to go to 5 different households because like my parents are divorced, my stepmom's parents are divorced,
Yep.
and just I mean I think it really drives just how I practice and focusing on the kids and like what's best for them, and coming from I don't want to say traumatic experiences,
Right.
but like, you know, being 5 years old and like
Challenging.
running, like hiding from the police was not like a really great experience, you know, growing up.
And we see in our cases all the time people that are calling the police prematurely and putting the kids in these situations. And how do you guys think our judges feel about that?
Oh yeah, no.
Right?
They hate it.
That is one of their biggest things is like, how dare you involve law enforcement unless this is a dire situation, because exposing the kids to police officers showing up at the school, at the house, it is traumatic. And it's going to take a long time to help them feel safe again. And people do not understand that. And some lawyers do not understand that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sometimes you have to. But a good lawyer knows when and where to do that. Okay, so then we talked about you going 852 miles away to Auburn. What was your major?
I started out as pre-med, and I quickly realized that I hated physics, I hated organic chemistry, I hated everything.
Oh my God, I would have made zeros on everything.
Yeah, no, it was
Zeros.
It was not good, and I was working in fundraising. I'd worked in a lot of campaigns just for fun, because why not? And then I was working at the scholarship call center for the school, and I was like, I'm really good at getting people to give me money. What should I do? And I literally went home that night and changed my major to political science, and I thought I was going to be a politician.
Love that. I love that.
Yeah, but I wound up, I accidentally signed up for evidence and legal reasoning as a sophomore in college.
Accidentally. I love that.
And
You're like, this sounds great.
loved it. I was
Okay.
like, 403B all the way.
Okay.
Let's get some hearsay in here. Like, that's 803, but I
That's
was like,
so funny.
Yeah, 403 is character.
yeah, 803, because I was looking at 403 earlier.
I know that.
But I fell in love, and I was like, I have to go to law school now. And so that was just,
Okay.
yeah.
And did you double major?
Oh, yeah. I majored in history because I'm a nerd. And I love
Okay.
history. Yeah.
So, yeah.
What'd you do this weekend?
This weekend? Okay, I was sick.
Right?
It's embarrassing. Okay, so
It's
I wrote
great.
a children's book. It's the ABCs of World War II. I wrote and illustrated it.
Oh my
with
God.
Canva. It's really cute.
That is so
So she truly
cool.
loves history, is my point.
That is
Genuinely, yeah.
so cool. Okay, now here's a random thought that I've had, a philosophical lawyer thought is, I always think that the people that like history and were good at it make the best trial attorneys because they can tell a story, they can retain, I think history you have to be able to retain a lot of detail and information, and you have to be engaged, because I enjoyed history as well, blah, blah, blah. But I think that when we approach our trials, especially litigation and family law, you are a historian of someone's life and patterns and recognizing patterns and seeing how things play out and instructing a judge or a fact finder on, hey, here's what to expect. So I love that about you, that your brain just works like that.
Yeah.
You also love color coding and charts and fun things like that, right?
My soul sister.
Yeah. I love digging in. It's my favorite thing.
We love binders with colored tabs and accompanying spreadsheets. Go girl, love
She
it.
color codes different ideas. So everything that goes with this idea is one color, and this idea is another color. And it's.
You do that too?
If they're
I
related,
know. I love it so much.
Yeah.
If they're related, they're different shades of the same color, so you know that they're closely connected with each other. So it might be light purple or dark purple. I got a system.
Chess, not checkers.
Totally.
That's our
That
core
is
value coming
3D chess
into play.
right there.
Love that. All right. So, and then where did you go to law school?
Georgia State.
Okay, so how'd you end up from Auburn to Georgia State? You said you had ties to Atlanta.
I spent a lot of time here, and then I was in love with a boy from college. So he
Always
was
got to
here,
have that somewhere in the
you know,
mix.
Yeah. So I ended up here. His family was here, and I really like Georgia State. I genuinely love Atlanta. Like it's my hometown.
It's a great law school too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
So what was the law school experience like for you?
Well, I only got one real semester, and then COVID happened.
Oh, you were one of the
that's
COVID law schoolers.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I had the first year experience of like standing up in front of 200 people and being questioned, and
Yes.
over and over again for.
Was it petrifying to you, or you didn't care?
It wasn't petrifying for me when I was prepared.
Right.
Oh,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I would like, I'm not having a good time, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun though. I took a lot of the trial advocacy classes, so I was like,
Those are
I'm
my
not-
favorite.
I'm not gonna
Girl.
I'm not going to do law review. Like, who likes to? I mean, I'll write a motion, but I'm going to be mean in it.
Perfect.
But I wanted to
Perfect.
be in a courtroom, and
Yeah.
that's where those classes were, in the literal courtroom. So
So did you were more engaged in the trial advocacy classes?
and STLA, so that was fun.
So at what point did you decide family law was what you wanted to do?
Okay, so I graduated from law school, and I was like, I don't really, because I'd worked at the DA's office.
And you'd done campaigns.
I'd done a lot of campaigns.
Yeah.
I was a campaign manager in college, so
That's
I did like
crazy.
a whole statewide campaign.
I was
by
going to ask
myself.
local or state. Okay.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
huge. It was right after Doug Jones won, and then I don't know if you know who Mallory Hagan was, but I think she was Miss USA at some point in time.
Okay.
Her campaign was huge, and so I was doing a statewide campaign for the Board of Education, and I was really good at politics. And I went to law school, worked in the DA's office. I was like, I worked in the homicide unit, and I was like, I don't know if I can. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I had taken family law in law school, and I hated it because it was over COVID, and it was just
Probably so boring.
PowerPoint slides.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
was like, oh, who cares about 1993? Like, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I decided to start working. There was it was an election year. When I graduated, there were a lot of really big campaigns going on in Atlanta, so I got involved in those. And then I realized I don't want to travel around the country or live in D.C. for the rest of my life. Like, I might as well try
Be a lawyer.
the thing I have all the student loans for.
Right.
And those were kicking in. So I did some contract work at first, just because, and then I fell into family law. Just randomly. It was actually during that interview with my last law firm that I realized how much trial is involved in family law. I never knew that before.
Okay.
And then I just, jumped in with 2 feet and like absolutely fell in love with it. So I can't do anything else. I genuinely don't think that's possible for me.
I love that.
It's so in your DNA, the way you think and approach everything. So, as an outsider looking in, I totally agree.
Thank you.
So it sounds like part of what drew you in at the beginning with family law was going to court more often.
Oh, yeah.
So what is it about court that's so great?
It's just where I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Because, of course you go in prepared, but, you have clients or opposing counsel or even the judge sometimes just kind of throw you a curveball and you have to kind of, think on your feet.
Oh, yeah.
And just...
And be a smooth talker.
Yeah, and
which
just
is probably
go
why
with it.
you were good at that. You're good at getting money.
So you just got to run with it and get it back on track. And I fell in love with that rhythm that you get into when you're in court. And like when you, even like win or lose, as long as you like do a good job and your client feels heard, that's like the best feeling for me. Even if you don't get like the best or the 110% outcome you wanted, as long as they walk away feeling like someone really advocated for them, that's what gets me out of bed at 5:00 in the morning.
Oh,
before
yeah.
court,
People depending on you.
Yeah.
And it's this like watershed moment in their life that now you are going to be a staple part of their core memory, is a pretty big feeling.
Yeah.
What about, do you remember your first time going to court by yourself?
Oh yeah, it was for oh God. Yeah, and she actually came here. The client followed me here because
Yay! She's in the wolf pack.
yeah, she hugs me quite a bit.
Hey,
because
girl.
That was terrifying. I was in Gwinnett County.
Okay.
I
Okay.
had never been to Gwinnett County, didn't know where to go, got lost.
Yeah, it's a big courthouse.
And with the escalators, I was like, what do I do? And yeah, it went well. opposing counsel and opposing party threw me some balls to the point where we had to get a bailiff escort us to our cars afterwards.
Wow, you really had a time. I mean, can you explain how it feels your first time going to court, the nerves and what you were experiencing?
The nerves? Well, I knew that my client was super, super nervous because she'd never been inside a courtroom before. Because most people haven't. I mean, even if you get like a traffic ticket or a DUI, like you send an attorney, they handle it. You don't even have to go, right? So she had no idea what to expect, and I was like, okay, I have to be okay because I need her to know that if she's not okay, I'm gonna be okay. So that's the only thing I was focusing on.
Great.
Like, I can't shake. I can't look like I don't know what I'm doing because she's relying on me to be calm, cool, and collected. So yeah, and then I got to get as soon as I made a hearsay objection, all my nerves went away. And I was like, I know what I'm doing. Like,
there's always some moment where the nerves go away. I remember, and I like to ask trial attorneys that love the courtroom these kind of questions because I think some people just got it and some people don't. Some people want it because they're meant to be there, and it's the people that they're not meant to be there that really shouldn't be there, and it's hard to watch sometimes. And it's rare that somebody is just lit up by the courtroom. And Andee and I are that way. All of our lawyers here are that way. But I remember my first time was a legitimation case, and I was like, we're going to lose. There's no way. And my boss told me, you're probably going to lose this. This is pro bono. We have to do this. We need to at least ask. You don't get what you don't ask for. I'm just walking up those courthouse steps thinking, why did I pick this as my job? How can this is going to affect this kid forever? And then for me, the feeling was the utmost of nerves and probably not showing it on the outside to the point I could not speak. I just was speaking gibberish. I was just like blacked out. And until, for me, it's always when you first stand up to make your opening statement, that's when it all goes away for me. And I learned that for the first time in court. And I was like, this is a life-altering experience. To know what it feels like to have a lot of information like a historian in your head, stand up in the courtroom. And I learned I could trust myself in that very first moment because from going from gibberish moments ago to you put me up at the podium and then it just, and I was like, how did I just say all that? How was that real? And then it flowed. That's kind of what it's like every time in court for me. What about you, Andee?
So my first trial was actually a jury trial.
Of course.
I was interning at the DA's office because it was the day before I started my third year of law school. So I was 23, and it was a DUI case, which in criminal cases, DUIs are generally viewed as very complicated. But of course, I didn't know enough to be worried about that. I was just very focused on my case, and I will never forget the experience. It was wonderful, and my jury was out for 17 minutes total, and the only reason they were out that long was because they wrote their verdict in pencil and got sent back to write it in pen. And I can remember to this day, I know what I was wearing. They were all coming up to me in the hallway and giving me hugs and telling me how proud they were of me.
That's amazing.
And it was a great experience, a great case. And it's just something I will never forget. So, and I knew, I was like, oh yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Right. I remember I won my first trial as well, thinking, we're not going to win, and I just could not believe it that we got the legitimation denied. What did you end up winning your first trial?
Oh no.
No.
Well, I mean, I got the client a little bit. It was a step up thing. But
and it's hard in family law to say this was a win or not, because a lot of times you win on some issues and you don't on every single issue. But that's incredible. So, do you have a certain type of family law case you like the most?
I mean, I like the nitty gritty ones, obviously.
Okay.
I'm an oddball. I really love TPOs. I love
them too.
I like representing the petitioner. I just think they're so fast paced, and you really have to get in there and figure out what's what and get it done. So I really like TPOs. And then you get like immediate results too with them.
Right.
You
It's
know?
a thrill.
Yeah.
It's an adrenaline rush. You're hired, you go to trial within 30 days. It's usually within like a week or two. And it's these opportunities as a trial attorney to like, you got to be sharp. You got to know what to get in and what is not going to be relevant, and just go.
And I was a director of fundraising at a domestic violence shelter that my mom was very largely, she was hugely a part of it, and it's very impactful in her life. And so when it comes to, victims of real violence, like actually being able to help them is, a really driving, that's everything.
Oh my gosh, and it's so important for our society. I got to tour a domestic violence shelter yesterday, and I learned so much and was so impressed. But that's a different conversation for a different day, because maybe we'll have the executive director on to talk to y'all about it with us.
That would be amazing.
But have either of you ever represented the defendant in a TPO and won?
Oh, yeah.
Those cases are crazy to me too, and so have I. I've only had one that really sticks out to me where he was wrongfully accused of domestic violence.
Yes.
And that was wild.
That was my experience too. And as a former domestic violence prosecutor, I believe victims.
Right.
And so
Right.
it's a challenging hurdle to get over, but it happens. It definitely happens.
So talk to us, Sarah, about how did you find Hastings Shadmehry and what brought you over to us?
Well,
I love when she makes that face.
I was scrolling on Instagram one day, and you guys popped up. I think it was a video on Instagram of the podcast, and you guys were just chatting away, and I was like, who are these people? What is the Wolf Pack?
Yeah.
So I stalked you for, I genuinely think, about a year and a half. And then I saw that you were hiring.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. No. And I didn't even apply at first, because you guys were looking for, in the job description, was for more experience. I was like, oh, no, they're not going to want me.
Yeah.
And I finally did, and I think we talked for like an hour.
I remember.
On the phone.
I remember our first phone call, and then we had you come in. And so why did you think we'd be a good fit for you?
The way that you talked about things and the videos and the things that it just seemed like the way that you guys, your focus on things. And I don't want to sound like a millennial, but honestly, it was the vibe, really,
The energy, we
huge.
believe in that too.
Yeah. I feel like you can always tell with people, I think, in this profession, especially even like judges, you can tell the ones that care
Yes.
and the
That's
ones
right.
that are just doing this for a job.
Right.
Totally.
And you guys, that's what I got off the screen, is that you guys really cared,
I love that.
and I wanted to be a part of that. So
Yeah, I think when we met you, it was like, we know this woman means business. She's going to, do things to the utmost of her ability, and one of our core values being unequivocal excellence. It was very clear from the beginning you were going to shoot for that. And then when we brought you in, how has it been, the experience with the other lawyers here? What is life like here at Hastings Shadmehry versus anywhere else?
well, it's a lot more organized.
Oh, God, that's great, because sometimes
great.
it feels like,
We work on it all the time.
You guys have so many systems and so many
We do.
and so many things that I absolutely love. It really keeps everybody on track. You guys are always available to talk to. I mean, I go into Andy's office almost every day. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just got this motion. I need it. I'm so mad. And then
Yeah.
she's,
We're going to talk about that one.
yeah. But you guys are so accessible, and we're constantly moving things along.
Yeah.
And even just what is it? Your little pouch thing that you take to court.
trial pouch.
Yeah, the trial pouch. I love that.
Yeah,
It's just-
I love those little bells and whistles.
Yeah.
You go in with your trial pouch, make sure you put your lip gloss in there and your protein bar. And we have, did I get you a rolly bag?
Not yet.
Okay, sorry. I gotta
I've
get
been
you
borrowing Elizabeth's.
your match. Every lawyer has a matching rolly bag, and if they're not exact match, they're very close.
Oh, that's
I can't believe you didn't remind me.
Sorry.
That's not your job. That's my job.
I also need a new magnet for my thing.
Magnet.
For the name tag.
Yes.
We can talk about it later.
Let's actually talk about that now.
Oh, okay.
So we went from Sarah Price, which by the way is my cousin's name.
Oh.
So that was a good omen too when we
Yes.
first talked.
She's
And
fabulous.
the other day my cousin goes, I didn't even, because she follows our socials, and I love my cousin Sarah. And she was like, so I have to ask, which Sarah Price is your favorite? And I died laughing. I was like, that's hilarious. But now you're Sarah Price Smith.
I am.
Tell us about this. Are you a newlywed? All
I
the
am.
things.
One of-
Congratulations.
Thank you. My husband. It sounds so weird to say husband. Yeah. Do you want the full backstory?
Sure.
Okay. So we met in college in 20th Century World Wars.
Stop it.
That was the name of the class.
That is so romantic.
He was sitting in front of me, and then I had missed class like an idiot. I was like, "Hey, can you give me your notes?" And he was like, "I don't know who you are."
Oh
And,
my
like,
god.
looked at me like I was an idiot. I was like, "This boy thinks I'm so stupid." But we were friends in college, and then we both graduated. He went to the Navy, and then I went to law school, and then we ended up dating during law school.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went across the country and got married to somebody else. And lived his life. I know, right? I should be the only love of your life. What are you talking about? And, has done his thing. And then we reconnected last year, actually. And he's just the best person I know. He's the most constant, kind person in the world. And he hasn't changed in the 10 years I've known him, at all.
Oh.
So, we decided to get married, and one of our favorite judges, Judge Bagley, married me on his lunch break.
I love it.
Yeah.
So special.
Yeah.
So because you joined us when, and it feels like January, but I don't know if that's right.
I think it was the beginning of February, end of January, yeah.
And then you got married.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been just jamming, girl.
Oh, yeah.
Leveling up.
Mm-hmm.
So what else in your, non-lawyer life? I know you're a dog mom.
Oh, yeah.
And you're into some other types of daredevil-y type things. Talk to us about all this.
Oh, so, obviously I love going to court because of the adrenaline
Oh,
rush. I also love jumping out of planes. That's my favorite thing to do on the weekend when I can take the time.
That
It's so
scares
much
me.
fun.
And
Which is funny because your husband is a pilot.
Yeah, he's
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's in the back of the plane. So his job is actually to keep the plane afloat and to keep the people in.
Seems important.
Yeah, and I'm the one that wants to jump out.
that is hilarious. How many times have you done this?
Quite a few. My favorite is to do a backflip on the way out. I'm
No.
trying to get my license.
Oh my.
What?
I
How did I not know this till right this moment?
It's so fun.
I
the
just
best.
couldn't. So there's where we part ways. I like the adrenaline in court. I am not
Go
doing
to
it, and I'm not swimming with sharks either. There's just a couple things that I'm not fucking doing it.
I'm not swimming with sharks.
Can you
Why?
imagine if me and you went? We would leave,
We
and
would
we
do
wouldn't jump
something
out
ridiculous.
of a plane. Would you jump out of a plane?
You have to. When you go up, you have to come down, and you can't come down on the plane.
Why not?
Yeah,
I don't know. They always say that. They're like, it's too heavy to land, so you have to. I think they're lying.
That has to be.
I wouldn't do
But-
it. You couldn't pay me to do it.
It is.
I'll die of a heart attack.
It is the best thing in the world. I promise. It's like, I don't know if you're spiritual or anything, but if
Yes.
you can see, it's like seeing God,
Wow.
and then the chute pulls. And
That's
it's
incredible.
It's the best feeling in the world.
Girl, you are something. So, okay, fearless
I'll
over
work
here.
on you.
What about Maya?
On my baby.
Let's talk about the baby.
The baby.
She's
Oh my
a
gosh.
beautiful, magnificent creature.
Yes. She's, as you guys know, a solid black German Shepherd.
Oh,
She looks like a wolf.
she looks like an
does.
actual wolf. She's pristine. She's collected. She's a
Regal.
She is a lady. She understands German. I
Oh.
trained her in German because I'm weird and history. And yeah, she's the light of my life. She sleeps next to me every night with her head on a pillow like a human. She eats
Oh,
home cooked meals. She doesn't eat any
I've
dog
seen
food
you
or
fix
kibble.
the home cooked
Me
meals, and I'm like, I
too.
suck as a dog mom because mine are getting kibble and they love it.
Yeah. Well, she would eat it and she would love it, but it's it's best for her.
She's an angel.
She's here right now.
Maya girl.
How old is she?
She's 8. She will be 9 in January.
She just still has kind of a baby look about her.
Yeah, she's still a puppy at heart. This morning she was like doing laps in the hallway before everybody got
Yeah,
here.
gotta
'Cause
do
Catherine is
that.
obsessed with her. So
So, as we kind of slide into our last segment, I want to ask you, how do you balance your personal life and doing things? You were at Pilates early this morning, all the things, your adventures on the weekend. How do you balance life as a lawyer versus a young woman just living her life doing the things?
balance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a long time, it was I should have bought stock in Celsius because I think I was drinking 5 a day.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
to
no.
get
I've
through
been
it all.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, I got some coffee in my hand as we speak
Yeah.
and a Zen in my mouth.
But I if I'm not my best, if I'm not healthy, if I'm not going to Pilates
So
or
true.
working out,
Yes.
then I'm not going to show up here
So
at my
true.
best. Even like last night, I was I was working here really late, and I was like, I'm going to do that tomorrow because I need to go home and sleep.
Yes.
If I don't, then my brain isn't going to function. And so just prioritizing, and I'm an introverted extrovert, so I need a little bit of socialization, but like not too much. So to make sure like I spend quality time with my friends, and filling my cup and then being able to pour into other people's. So it's taken a really long time for me to understand that like I actually have to take care of myself and no one else is going to do it for me. Even my loving husband, as much as he tries.
No, and you become a burden on your partner if you don't take care of yourself. Yeah. There's resentment. Because I've seen you and I've watched and felt your energy, and I think that you are further along in that than some young lawyers. And looking back on myself, those were the things I was lacking for a very long time. And so I love that about you, because I think that's what helps create sustainability in this industry, and family law in particular, dealing with the high emotion and the constant need to go to court that we have. I think for family law attorneys, it's even more important. I truly think than some other types of areas of law that we have an outlet.
Absolutely.
Otherwise.
And lots of therapy. Let me say that.
Tons of it.
Yeah.
Tons of that. Yeah. We're full proponents of that. So, okay, we're going to move into our last little check-in here, which is where we just chat about how we have embodied this notion of being forward-facing, our namesake, in the past, several months or whatever is relevant to you, Sarah. But Andee and I will do a check-in. So since last time we checked in, Andee, how do you feel you've been forward-facing? What's going on in that regard for you?
So what I'm focused on and trying to remind myself every day is to have perspective. It's easy, I think, in our lives to get wrapped up in a thing and it feels all-consuming, and it's easy to lose perspective. And, I'm not one that, compares what I'm dealing with or going through to other people. We're all walking our own path. But couple of things. My mom has been very sick, and so it tends to give you perspective when you have a family member that's really struggling. But also, I had a client who came to me absolutely a victim of domestic violence, which as a former domestic violence prosecutor, those are very near and dear to my heart. She's been with us for a while now. The case is extremely difficult, in large part because her soon-to-be ex-husband is extremely difficult and abusive. And he just got sentenced to prison for the rest of his adult life. And I've watched the arc of her metamorphosis over this time, and it's just one of those things that reminds you of you have to have perspective in life, and it's very easy. We all do it. You lose track of it, but then something like that comes in, and it kind of puts a lot of things into perspective. And so I'm grateful for that. And when I say I'm just trying to hold my center, that's a lot of what I'm talking about. It just trying to keep perspective, and that, there's always going to be challenges. I'm definitely guilty of being like, okay, well, when this thing is over, everything's going to be so easy. Or when I get past this, then blah, blah, blah. And the reality is there's always going to be challenges and difficulties. And so it's not the finish line, it's how we run the race. So just focusing a lot on that lately and having different types of reminders pop up. And I'm grateful for it. I think it's a gift. So
I love that.
What about you?
For me, mine's very much about compartmentalizing and being not completely well on the physical front. In the past would have been a loss of control to me, a sense of loss of control. And it has not been that way for me this time around, because I think because of bodybuilding and being very in tune and having very good habits and accountability and the right support around me, to actually in my personal life feel like I'm riding the wave and giving my body what it needs and my mind what it needs to continue healing. because kind of like what we were talking about, I cannot perform at work, which is why I'm here. You know, that's one of my big meanings and purpose in life, and I cannot perform when I'm not well. So that's very meaningful to me that I've been able to learn how to coast and ride the wave and fulfill my needs, and then compartmentalize and say at work, here's the very structured things you need to do, and we need to move the needle. And I feel like I have very firm control. I'm steering the ship, and I am very experienced at it. It's not as rocky, and that's taken a lot of years to get to that point. And it's not easy, and you do have to lean on your people in different ways. And for me, it's highlighted the importance of who I'm around that can call me out when I need it to help me keep in the guardrails that I need in a loving way, and dig out of dark moments and things like that, and not go it alone is nice. So yeah, just sort of seeing myself elevate and continue to push things forward for us, even though I'm struggling on the side, and learning how to not let that be a crutch. So what about you, Sarah? How do you feel like you've been forward-facing, kind of embodied that notion in the past?
I'm not sure if this is going to make sense, but I've been working really hard on learning how to open my mouth.
Cool.
I have historically been a suffer in silence type of person and just get it done. And I'm really trying to, because you can get burnt out super easily, obviously, and then you can get yourself into a mess. Even if it's like, you think you know something with a case, and then you realize, 5 weeks later, that is not.
Oh, now we got a whole new slew of things. Yeah.
Really just trying to ask for help and to just tell people what I need,
Great.
which is really, really hard. But I feel like, whether it's, here at work or with my mom or with my husband or whatever, my friends, it's very hard for me to accept help, because when you're asking for it, you're probably going to get it. And just setting myself up to, I think it's really building the roadblocks for me to be better in the future and continue that practice.
Totally.
And just, showing up for others, but allowing people to show up for me is really hard, but I'm trying.
Have you found that once you started being more cognizant of, like, I need to open my mouth, has it become easier for you to do it more often?
Yeah, it's a work in progress,
Yeah.
It's a whip for me.
Yeah, whip, as we call it, work in progress. I think the things that feel hardest for us individually from an emotional standpoint, when we power through them and get out of our comfort zone, it is always such a good feeling to be able to look back and reflect, like, remember when having these conversations was hard?
Yes.
And now it's just part of our flow, and I'm comfortable with that. So that's awesome. I'm glad you're able to work on that.
Yeah.
Well, tell our audience where they can find you, if they want to hire you, if they want to follow you on socials, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me here almost 24/7.
She's here all the time.
I'm also on Instagram. It used to be the Price is Sarah because the price is right, but now it's the Price is Smith.
Love that.
So, and I will be cranking out some more family law-centered content, which will be determined in the future, but I'm going to have some fun with that, I think.
Cool. Excited for it. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and our audience. And audience, thank you. We love you. We're going to miss you until next time. Please be sure to like, follow us everywhere, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all of our socials, Instagram, Facebook. You can find us at Hastings, Shadmehry, and at Forward Facing. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please like, subscribe, and share. We would love to hear your thoughts. Leave us a comment or email us at podcast@hsfamilylaw.com. And be sure to come find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and at our website, forwardfacing.com.
Forward Facing is a production of Hastings Shadmehry Family Law and 1066 Productions. It is produced and edited by Ned Hastings.